your seat should be given to the assistant. Okay. Last week でなんか important point どこですか What is the important point of the last week? まずまずはこれですね。ブラッドっていうのはサスペンションフルイドで、なんかリキッドパートの中にパートの中になんかパーティクルが、これはパーティクルっていうのは結局はレッドブラッドセル、メインリーレッドブラッドセルでしょ。でだからこのサスペンションっていうのはなんかフルイドの中にこのセミなんかフィックスソリッドパーティクルがレアか、それがヘマトクリットで、ヘマトクリットナンバーはワンボリューム、アサータンボリュームの中にsome amount of particle is there。でそれからローヘマトクリットかハイヘマトクリットで、ブラッドのなんかフィーチャーは very different。特に especially in slow flow speed の時に the hematocrit number is large. It means the more blood red cell is there. If it is so, that it shows なんか viscosity でね、viscosity っていうのが one important point. So therefore the thin blood vessel flow. This viscosity is shown clearly っていうのが one important point で、それは例えばそれは何ですかってどこにここら辺ですね。細い流れ。例えばこの芯です時に特にそれで especially the center is the most highest flow speed でしょ。So therefore the red blood is concentrated around this axis。これをこの axis concentration って呼ぶんです。axis concentration。So therefore the close to the walls it's no blood cells, no cells around near the wall. So it is called plasma skimming. 書いてあってね。Plasma skimming. Only the liquid contents is there, the outside of the vessel. で、some thicker, small diameter vessels. Sometimes the rarely flowing the blood cells, red blood cells. とかいうようなプラズマレイヤーとかさ、セルフリーレイヤーと言われているようなものがこれにある。or ノーセルフローとかさ、あります。それはそうです。それからそれに対して compared with this thick artery は特にこうthick で特にespecially in this the artery, the flowing is not to the two-dimensional flow, but to the three-dimensional flow. Secondary flow is there. Not only the centralized flow that looks like this, because it is a straight tube, the center of the flow is the most highest speed. But to this kind of curve, just after the heart, this thick vessel is rounded up to the different direction. So therefore the flow is going there, but it also the gravity forces, gravity というか、inertial forces there, so therefore it works in the outside, but the outside flow is following this vessel wall and come back to the down part, down area. So therefore this kind of tornadoing wave, tornadoing flow is also there. So therefore the totally this flow is not only go through along this axis, but also the secondary flow that looks like this is there. Okay? So therefore the two opposite directional tornado flow is also there. Okay? This kind of wall is there. まあ、というのがここに書いてあって、もう一つのこれか。まあこれはいいな。まあ、これは最初にjust after the heart, the flow is all of the flow is a similar speed, but the after flowing, it looks like this shape. 釣り鐘型、カノンじゃなくて、なんかベルシェイプフローになるってことね。わかる？最初にここからこうなってなんかこうあった時にここの方はまあコンスタントフローだけどだんだんとこうベルシェイプフローになってくる。センター is the most highest。センター is the most highest。っていうこういうベルシェイプフローになっていくよって。はい、です。っていうのがスペシャルポイントです。このですね。And also if it is artery and vein comparison, artery is more flexible tube, so therefore in a higher pressure, diameter will be changed, become larger, and make it lower pressure, and after the lower pressure, the diameter will be back to the original diameter, and it makes the pushing the blood more smoothly. これはアーテリーでしょ。And vein は more collapsed, more harder, because this looks like the deep vein must not become closed. So therefore, to keep this diameter, to keep this spaces, the vessel's wall is more harder, and also it has a bulb to prevent the backflow. っていうのがベインのスペシャルポイントです。OK です。これはインポータントポイントですね。はい。です。これをおしまいにして、はい、じゃあ Let's start today's part. The material ですね。Biomaterial. Biomaterial, what is biomaterial? で、なんかspecial circumstances, environmental condition と、some interesting topic like economy class syndrome とか calcium paradox あります。それから example of biomaterials です。はい、じゃあ Let's start. Biomaterial. So artificial material is used to medical operations. Some inspections, and of course surgical operations, and so on. But so therefore, some material is biological to contact with the biological body. Some materials, some of them is contact with skins or some membrane. Some of them is contact with tissues. Some of them contact with blood. So that is one idea, one classification. And the other one is long-term contacting, or tentative temporal contacting, or partially contacting. For example, the long-term, some artificial organs is inserted inside of the body and so long time used. But the temporary usage is also there. For example, the bone fixation tools or parts. And the partially contacting with is artificial skin or dentary artificial tooth and so on. But maybe as you know, some reaction mechanism is there when the living tissue is contact with artificial something, artificial materials. So therefore, we have to understand about this mechanism. And the medical functionality must be achieved by using the artificial materials, but also to prevent this kind of bad reactions. So the biocompatibility is very important. So some medical function must be realized, but the bad reaction should be reduced. So therefore, the biocompatibility must be improved. The inside of the body, you may know the physiochemically various pH is there. Last week we know the blood is about some alkaline, but for example in the stomach, it is too acid to consume the food to provide energy. And the energy, the temperature is also the variety of temperature is there in the body. Inside the body is usually 37 degrees Celsius, but to the skin part or the peripheral part, end of the peripheral, it sometimes become 0 degrees. And the skin part, the skin is contact with the atmosphere, so therefore it is lower temperature than the inside. And when cause disease, we become more heat. And also stress, about the mechanical, physical stress, it has for example, this is the artery wall, heart muscles, it looks like this, and bone is 0 to something, and also inside of the joint, inside of the skeletal part, inside of the tendon, there are so much stress is given to that part. It is not only the large, but also sometimes, but many times, frequently, it causes the relax and stressed, relax and stretched, relax and pressed, and so on. So, for example, the peristalsis is the food transferring is this kind of number per year, and also the swallowing from the mouth to the stomach, it is a number that kind of number is there per year. And also the heart contraction, this looks like this, and also the finger joint movement looks like this. Walking is also looks like this. So this kind of a number is given some gravity or stress or the release, relaxed and stretched, relaxed and pushed or something. So therefore, so many number of the frequently repetition, the physical stress is there. To cope with the living creatures mechanism is very optimized form. Homeostasis のちょっとビデオなんか見ますか？ Homeostasis.
Fluctuations in the internal and external environments are constant for living organisms. The body responds to these fluctuations by a process called homeostasis, the process of maintaining a relatively stable internal environment. We will look at fluctuations in blood glucose levels as an example of homeostasis. You are studying for a biology exam, about to review the chapter on cellular respiration, and decide you need a little extra energy. You consume an entire 32-ounce bottle of soda, approximately 1 liter. Your mid-study snack contained 100 grams of sugar and 400 calories. At first, you might have a burst of energy, but 30 minutes later, you begin to feel lightheaded and can't seem to keep your eyes open or your mind from wandering. What happened? To understand this unexpected result, we'll explore how your metabolism can get out of balance and how your body works to bring it back to normal. The cells of your body are fueled by glucose molecules that travel throughout your body in the bloodstream. Because glucose is so important, your body responds to fluctuations in blood glucose levels to maintain stable levels through homeostasis. After consuming food, the mouth and stomach begin the process of mechanical and chemical digestion. The partially digested food moves from the stomach to the small intestine, where larger molecules are further broken down. Smaller molecules, like the monosaccharides, glucose and fructose, are absorbed by the cells lining the intestine. Glucose passes out of the cells and into the interstitial fluid, then into the bloodstream. Once individual glucose molecules move into your bloodstream, your blood glucose level rises rapidly. The high sugar content of the soda causes a spike in blood glucose, triggering a hyperglycemic condition. The pancreas detects an increase in glucose levels in the bloodstream. In response, the beta cells of the pancreatic islets produce and secrete the hormone insulin into the bloodstream. Insulin binds to cell surface receptors and stimulates the transport of glucose into the cells of the body. Because of this rapid increase of insulin in response to the large amount of glucose from the soda, too much glucose is removed from the blood and stored as glycogen inside liver and muscle cells. As a result, your blood is now glucose deficient, a hypoglycemic condition. This low blood glucose level can cause lightheadedness, fatigue, and hunger.
To look like this, this kind of mechanism works well. So therefore, some sugar level, glucose level is kept in some amount of the bandwidth. Okay? And medical functionality. To realize the medical functionality is yes, of course. If it is a vessel, the arterial vessel must transfer the blood to some part to the some part. The arterial heart must work as a pump, and arterial muscle must work as a energy drive, mechanical driving source. And the joint must be rotate to around some axis smoothly. So therefore, some functionality must be realized. But to contact with the blood, for example, the cardiovascular systems, the arterial cardiovascular system, it contact with blood. So therefore, to prevent making the clot or thrombus. But to prevent this, some material must be developed. And also, but sometimes prevent clot, but sometimes making clot. Because smooth movement of the artificial heart must prevent clot. But to bleeding the blood flow, some fibrin glue is necessary that works to making the clot rapidly. So therefore, this is a different opposite features. Sometimes some material need some feature, but some material need the completely opposite feature. And also, sometimes to keeping this feature constantly, but sometimes it should be degraded or absorbed into the living tissues. For example, some the surgical suture thread must be absorbed and gradiated and absorbed into the living tissues after some period, for example. So this is also the permanent usage, or it should be destroyed after some period. So that is also the different features completely. So therefore, the various kind of material is required. And especially the biocompatibility means the histocompatibility, the adaptable to the some tissues. And hemocompatibility means especially about the blood, to prevent blood clot making or something. It is said. But roughly or generally, biocompatibility is said. Some metallic material, polymer material, and so on. These material is usually used. So therefore, this kind of biocompatibility must be discussed, must be considered about development of these kind of materials. Biocompatibility is example, biological body, material, both. So not to affect to the body itself, but also not to affect to the material, to keep its features permanently. And also the both sides interactions is also important. Tissue compatibility, hemocompatibility, blood compatibility. Especially about the biomechanical, mechanical compatibility, to prevent stress concentration or deformation gap is we have to take care. Because, for example, this is a blood, the living blood. After some surgical operation, we want to fix it. So therefore, some kind of glue is used. But this glue is too hard after making it. The blood vessel is, as we know, this diameter is temporarily changing depending on its pressures. But this glue is not easy to deform. If it is so, this part has some stress concentration. So therefore, this glue is also must be the elastic. Elasticity is necessary. ここにありますね。ストレスとか strain should be concentrated around this part, connecting part. And this part making some fatigues or some breaks in some cases. And also the blood flow is making the disturbed. So therefore, around here, this has making the clot or the blood clot or plaque is produced in some case. And about example about the joint processes, the making if you want to make the replace the living joint to the artificial joint, looks like this. This is the hip joint. Hip joint has to be the ball joint, looks like this. So therefore the cup and the ball mechanism, and this the thick bone, some stem. Stem is the connecting part of the living bone and this artificial joint. The stem is inserted in here. So therefore, the surgical operator is making the whole partly the patient sick bone, and then this stem is inserted here. And cement materials is used to connecting its gaps, to fill its gaps. But this gap is too much large. This cement is not work well. So therefore, from this part, some stress concentration is made, and some become dissociated and loosed, and then make some small cracks, and finally it is some breaks in some case. ちょっとなんかこのヒップジョイントリプレイスメントっていうところを見たりしますか？あ、それよりもどっちがいいですか？このアーティシャルブラックの方がいいですか？アーティシャルブラック。
Science. Up until now, the production of an effective artificial blood vessel proved to be a difficult challenge. The scientists at the Fraunhofer Institute in Germany claim to have made a significant development. In 2009, scientists came together in a project called Biorab with the aim of creating artificial blood vessels, and now the first prototype has been made from a 3D printer. Various structures are being produced using the printing method. It works very much in the same technical way as a normal printer in the office works. Of course, it looks a bit different, but the technology is very similar. We build layer after layer until eventually we have a three-dimensional structure. Esther Novosel is a cell specialist at the Fraunhofer Institute. She has been involved in the project since the start and wrote her doctoral thesis on the subject. According to her, the artificial vessels are very close to the real thing. They have the same mechanical features, that means they are very elastic, and they are also biocompatible, which means that you could later put them in a body. However, any living structure like a person's skin would inject blood vessels made out of plastic. Scientists have therefore made sure that the blood vessels are biofunctionalized so that living cells can dock onto them, as Novosel explains. In order to put these artificial blood vessels that we have created in a body, we have to dress them with cells. These cells also cover the insides of blood vessels in the body.
Das sind die Zellen, die auch im Körper die Blutgefäße in der Innenseite ausfallen.
The scientists at Fraunhofer say they hope one day the artificial vessels could be transplanted into a person's body, but they have a more immediate goal. They are hoping that soon the artificial blood vessels could be transplanted into artificial skin.
はい、というようなやつですね。はい、これはちょっとスキップして、まあ、ティッシュリアクションを to prevent tissue reactions. Many kinds of various kinds of reactions is happened in the tissues or organs. So especially about the blood compatibility. Blood compatibility is very important because some various reactions is made to when the material is contact with the blood. Especially about the blood clot blood thrombus forming, and the calcium is attached to the blood. That is a very, very dangerous conditions. For example, about the blood clot forming, looks like this. The blood is making the clot for some reasons. Some plasma protein is absorbed, and the platelet is also aggregated, and so there are many factors: the material factor, fluid factor, and the behavior factor, the environmental factors. The clot is formed like this. About the wall, inside of the walls, some fixed groups, clot is made. なんかちょっと、まあいいや。はい。で、this makes some disease. The brain, lung, heart, or deep pain. If the clot is making go to this part and prevent the blood flow, it makes the dangerous disease to the human bodies. So prevent this clot formation, some materials is trially developed. For example, some microphase separated structure or hydrophilic structure or something. The hydro-compatibility is made. So the many kind of considerations and trials is made. And also the valorization. Valorization means some biological tissue itself is decorated about to the surfaces, and also the cell itself is transplanted into the biomaterials. So therefore, the surface looks like biocompatibility materials is covered. For example, in a catheter or some the vascular pump or oxygenator, the artificial lung. And one interesting topic you are familiar with is economy class syndrome. So it's also called the long flight syndrome, economy class syndrome, or traveler thrombosis, or the long flight related DVT. DVT means the deep vein thrombosis. Deep vein, in lower limb, some vessel is making some disease by generating some thrombosis and to prevent the smooth blood flow. なんかありますか？ハートビート。あ、これさっき見たか。
Dr. Rainbow, today.
あ、これさっき見たね。違うやつだ。ハートディープベインスロンボシス。
This animation shows how deep vein thrombosis, or DVT for short,
これ見たか。これか。ここのバルブのところでここら辺にこのクロットが出てきてスロンボシスで、そうするとこのベインリーフがバルブリーフが cannot work well で、それがリリース This clot is released and goes through to the other part. For example, this example is inside of the lung. So after this fixed part, after that it doesn't work well in the lung. So therefore so it doesn't work well. So prevent this kind of long flight syndrome. You should do this kind of prevention method is there. The loose costume or the wrap wearing. And the water providing is very, very important to make to prevent high density of blood cell. However, water is okay, but alcohol drinks is not good, or the green tea is also not good because this kind of drinking makes dehydration. So the too much drinking makes make it more ruin. And also you should work every 1 or 2 hours. Not necessarily the total whole body exercise, but at least the lower limb should be moved. Something. Exercise is good. While sitting, this kind of exercise make you good. Prevent deep vein thrombosis. Some airplane companies is making this kind of videos.
Airline carriers here at the Reno Tahoe International Airport have added a number of long, direct flights for your traveling convenience. Sitting for hours on the plane can lead to the pooling of blood in the legs and the development of a blood clot called deep vein thrombosis, or DVT. You can avoid DVT with movement. Renown Health would like to share with you some fun and simple exercises you can do in your seat. Ankle circles. Lift feet and draw a circle with your toes, moving feet towards, then away from each other for 30 seconds. Foot pumps. Lift toes with feet on the floor, then lift your heels. Continue for 30 seconds. Knee lifts. Put hands on thighs. Lift leg to chest with knee bent while contracting thigh muscle. Alternate legs. Repeat 20 to 30 times. Neck roll. Relax shoulders. Slowly drop ear to right, then roll neck slowly forward and to the left. Visit bestmedicinenews.org to learn more.
はい、っていうようなやつがありますね。The second interesting topic is about calcium deposition. Calcium. Calcium is also making some clot or thrombosis. For example, the calcium deposition makes the cardiac valve movement prevention or arterial heart movement prevention. So in this case, it is fixed and not completely broken. Why it is? We don't understand exactly this mechanism. But in animal species, the younger age, frequently happens. Infant, children, the calcium deposition is observed more frequently. And also material, the surface, and also the stress concentration. We cannot understand exactly about the reasoning why the calcium deposition is made and fail. 次は。はい。Calcium paradox is the calcium paradox. What is the calcium paradox? The one question is the inadequate intake of calcium makes bone weak. Is it true? The lack of taking the calcium makes bone weaken. Is it true? No? これは true. Too much taking the calcium makes kidney stone. Is it true? Too much calcium make kidney stone 知ってる？ Kidney stone ね。Make kidney stone. Too much taking the calcium, too much milk drinking make kidney stone. Is it true? 答える No, not true. まあこれはミルクのカンパニー is saying this. Of course, the taking milk is good for your health, not for taking the kidney stone. じゃあカルシアム the inadequate taking the calcium, inadequate taking milk makes the kidney stone. Is it true or not? だから insufficient providing calcium makes kidney stone. Possibility to making the kidney stone. Okay. Your idea. This is true. Inadequate take the blood vessel or brain is yes, because if there is a rare calcium inside the body, some organ, some mechanism works. Even though some calcium part is reduced, but some bone part is reduced, but calcium should be provided to the body. So therefore the inadequate taking makes providing the calcium providing increased. So therefore the too short getting calcium makes the kidney stone more possibility to make the kidney stone. それはどこか見てみる。Health factor proton of calcium. これもなんかどっちゃ。
Okay, Rayon Blue, and this is health factors. A recent study in the British Medical Journal indicates that women taking calcium supplements are at a greater risk for cardiovascular disease than those who don't. One explanation is that the high doses of calcium can interfere with other nutrients needed for heart health, like magnesium. Calcium is essential for strong bones, but harmful if it accumulates in arterial plaques. Emerging evidence suggests a little-known vitamin called K2 may be the key to keeping bones strong and arteries clear. Vitamin K2 has been shown to work with vitamin D to boost bone mineral density and prevent arterial calcification. Vitamin K2 is naturally found in high-calcium foods like cheese, but is more often taken as a supplement. For Health Factors, I'm Dr. Kate Rayon Blue.
まあだからサプリメントは to take care about the supplements っていう話ですね。さてじゃあ the remaining 20 minutes we will discuss about some biomaterial examples. Biomaterial requirement, of course, medical functionality and biocompatibility. But as a product, medical product, it must be easy to molding, easy to fabrication to make some product. Of course, the productivity is very important. And also, this is a medical equipment, so therefore the sterilization to reduce the virus or disinfect the anti-poisoning is easy, must be easy. For example, the steam way or gas way or radiation way and so on. In some method, it must easy to realize the virus prevention or the anti-poisoning. And also, this is economic product, commercial product. So the economically efficiency is also important. The manufacturing cost, maintainability, or the storing cost and the fabrication cost and so on. Okay. What is biomaterial science じゃなくて、biomaterial。Innovation biomaterial。ちょっとこれでもいいですか？ サーフェス形状からもまあいろんな要素があって、ストロンガーとかハイパフォーマンスがいいんで、まあいろんなところにバイオマテリアル使ってますよっていう話でしたね。はい、ということで、The kind, the biomaterial is categorized into three types: metallic type, and inorganic type, and polymer type. The presently, polymer type is the widely used because of its disposability. で、なんかセンセティックマクロモレキュラマテリアとか、あるいはまあバイオロジカリーオリジンマテリア is also there, and hybrid material is also there. ちょっとまあ we will look through one by one. Firstly, metallic material. Metallic material you may familiar with this. The filling into the teeth and covering the teeth. Okay? This kind of inlay is inserted into here is about 4 minus, 4.2 minus. And this crown is covering is like the 63 kilo N per this one, 2. So and the gold and platinum is widely used because it is good for the resistance, but the expensive, and the gold is not good enough for its hardness. So therefore, presently some kind of stainless steel is used. The chrome is inserted into the steel. This kind of the carbon, nickel, molybdenum, and so on is added to make it the mechanical property or the corrosion resistance. So it will be used in the surgical forceps and some units, teasers, and so on, and the bicep. And the cobalt chrome. Cobalt chrome is also usually used in this kind of joint head and so on. The cobalt is mainly, and chrome, nickel, molybdenum, and so on is used. The artificial bone, artificial joint is used. And recently the titanium is used. This kind of the bone is made, and artificial bone, artificial joint, artificial valve. This titanium alloy is used. And secondly, about the inorganic materials, carbon. Carbon is widely used because carbon is good for the anti-thrombosis. The blood compatibility is good about the carbon. Pyrrolite carbon is founded in 1960s. So therefore it is used on the first blood ball valve for the heart valve. For the heart valve, ball valve for the heart valve. And also a two-leaf disc, heart disc no two-leaf valve is also mainly made in the carbons. And also this kind of the peritoneal dialysis, this kind of catheter or this plug is mainly made by this carbon. Second inorganic material, ceramics. Ceramics is used as a joint or the teeth or something presently. So because this is easy to deform, easy to make any shapes. So therefore, this kind of ceramics is widely used now. はい。で、thirdly about the molecule materials, synthetic molecular materials, artificial organs, the artificial blood cell, blood vessel, artificial kidney, artificial heart, artificial lung, and so on, and also the processes. For example, the contact lenses or the artificial tooth and the root of tooth, and so on. Some sensors to to detect the inside body is also made from the molecules. And disposable product. This is widely used because syringe, and the infusion bag, solution bag, or blood transfusion and blood circulation bag, or some infusion bag, infusion set. Many of them is made from the molecules. Some tubes, catheter is made from molecules. So because it is easy to waste, the cost is not expensive and easy to deposit. So therefore it is easy to use. So polyvinyl chloride, PVC, yes, this kind of bags and tubes is mainly made from this kind of macromolecular materials. But the problem is there. Some component is made good, not good for the human health. So therefore the safety problem is also remaining. But to the disposable product, blood transfusion, the solution bag, tubes, and the lungs or kidneys, it is widely used. ちょっとディスポーザブルっていうところを見てみますか。はい。たくさん書いてあるけど、これはあるカンパニー。ニーズとかシリンジとかバッグとか、こういういろんなプロダクトありますよね。シリンジ、ニーズ、カニューラ、点滴用のカニューラとかグローブ。というようなものが使われるんだけど、so the disposal is a one important keyword because one way, easy to clean up, easy to waste. But to why the disposable product is used? Because patient is suffered from some wheals. So therefore the doctors or nurses is sometimes is infected by these patient wheels. Okay? To prevent this, all of the material, all of the tools used for this patient operation, we have to waste. We have to waste. But and also the irrigation or sterilization, it makes many troubles and it makes many labor costs and also the labor costs. So therefore the many operations and some cost is made in this irrigation and sterilization. So therefore the only wasting is saving the cost. And also the mass product this kind of product is very easy to cheaper, make it easy, cheaper, and the constant supply is made. So therefore, the many large amount of medical disposable product is daily used, everyday used. But it makes the medical waste problems. So the waste management law, the special controlled waste, it is called the special controlled waste. So every country must follow this kind of rules. Not only the developed country, but also the developing country must follow these rules to prevent this kind of medical waste problems. Not necessary to this after usage, only landing is not good enough. So of course some virus prevention treatment or some anti-poisoning treatment is necessary, or the plastic block, the enclosed into the plastic blocks or something treatment, melt down, the burned or melted down, or the used again as a material, and after that we can land it we can dig into the land. ということで、ね、this kind of program is biomedical waste management. これは多分インディアンケースかな。
You often look at the heap of garbage in your surroundings. The foul smell of this garbage irritates us a lot. But today, we are not talking about this garbage, but the biomedical waste. That is quite different from the normal garbage and poisonous too.
Hospital waste is most infectious when it is fresh. So chances of spreading disease is immediate threat.
This garbage can be fatal or threat to joyful lives. Delhi, the dream city of many, produces more than 30 tons of biomedical waste every day. In 1998, Common Biomedical Treatment Facility was formed to destroy this biomedical waste, produced from different hospitals, laboratories, and other healthcare institutions. The initiative of forming Common Biomedical Treatment Facility is taken primarily to keep the human away from the diseases caused through it and to keep the environment clean. Biomedical waste consists of tubing, catheter, gloves, intravenous set, urine bags, plastic bottles, syringe, plaster, human tissues, cotton, untidy bandages, blood bags, placenta, body part carcasses, blades, vials, and ampule of medicines and glass bottles. Biomedical waste is separated firstly in healthcare institutions, and color coding process is adopted for this separation process.
Separation.
We as generators are responsible for the treatment to final disposal.
Workers indulged in healthcare institutions dump tubing, catheter, gloves, IV set, urine bag, plastic bottles, and syringe in red bag, human tissues, plaster, cotton, untidy bandages, blood bags, placenta, and amputated parts of human in yellow bag, blades, vials, and ampule of medicine, broken bottles of glass in blue bag. The mouth of these bags is closed by these healthcare institutions. Thence, this waste is transported to the treatment plants in special vans. The workers who are indulged in these procedures have to take intensive care. Often these workers face major threat of getting infected with TB. For your information, the destruction of this biomedical waste requires temperature around 1000 degrees Celsius. Now think yourself, how much worse can be caused if this infectious waste is dumped in open? A little carelessness in disposal of this biomedical waste can not only be dangerous but also take lives. Violating norms or rules relating to biomedical waste treatment can cost 1 year imprisonment and 1 lakh rupee penalty alongside. Let me inform you, violating norms or rules relating to biomedical waste treatment can cost 1 year imprisonment and 1 lakh rupee penalty alongside.
Toいうことで、この biomedical waste problem は very important problem because medical technology is improved and so therefore the many amount of medical waste produced every day in the world to keep the environmental condition and keep some living creatures healthiness. We should think about this kind of this kind of disposable product is very useful for us, but also some amount of dark part is also there, so we have to take care about this kind of medical waste problem. Okay. And the second part is silicon, not only the polymer, but also the silicon is also the vinyl is used, but the polymer, the silicon is also used. Silicon is very useful. For example, it is used for some processes, the normal processes, like this. Silicon back is used for making the breast. Yes. And also the inside of the facial condition, or this is nose part, or the ear flap is also there. Some of the processes is made from silicons. Okay? And the polyester and polyethylene terephthalate, PET, PET bottle, PET. PET is also used for especially about the Dacron is one DuPont product. Dacron is widely used as this kind of purpose. The Dacron is familiar with this blood cells. So therefore, it can form the artificial blood vessel like this. So therefore, this product is widely used as artificial blood vessels like this. The Teflon, the PTFE, polytetrafluoroethylene, blood vessels. So large amount of the diameter or the small tubes is also there. That it is good and anti-thrombosis, and also the familiar with surrounding tissues is very familiar. ちょっと1分ぐらいのビデオ、ちょっとこれ見てみますか。
The Gore hybrid vascular graft offers 3 trusted technologies in one kind of graft, which combined optimize outflow and expand treatment options for your patients. With both open surgical and over-the-wire techniques for implantation, the Gore hybrid vascular graft extends positioning options for the landing zone, extends reach with an endoluminal anastomosis for access to deep vessels, and extends support through high compression and tortuous areas. The Gore hybrid vascular graft simplifies access to difficult anatomy, providing optimal outflow with expanded treatment options, which may offer your patient better outcomes and fewer interventions.
バイパスサージック、ね、に使ったりします。あとはバイオロジカルオリジンがコラーゲンを使われてて、あとはゼラチンとかチキンとかキチンとかチキンね、キチンです。キチンは、クラブとかシュリンプとかのシェルとかにあるようなこれは、スキンとかに使われる、アーティフィシャルスキンとかに使われてますよ。それからセルロースとかシルクとかもこの例えば、ウーリンシステム、アーティフィシャルキドニーシステムに使われたりします。それからネフロン、まあこれネフロンです。さっきのホローファイバーメンブレンに使われたりします。それからハイブリッドでサンダーとこのバイオライゼーションってこのラバーベースにリビングセルを置いてなんかハイブリッドスキンとかを It is made like this アーティシャルスキンとかとかですね。サプリメンタルビデオをここにあります。How it's made 例えばこうアーティシャルジョイント、これは very interesting to how to make the artificial joint。 あとはテッドトークとか A simple understanding to a complex topic でBio-compatibility についての explanation is also there. If you have some time, please watch later. ということで、コンテンツは It's also the full contents and some part is skipped. So that if you are interested in, you should read it and also watch the video later.